Every major shift in history follows the same pattern. You're capable of more, and you know it. And every time it happens, your group of people gets blindsided by it. It's basically humanity hitting the reset button on whether people like it or not. Steam power replaced muscle, railroads collapsed distance, factories multiplied production, computers digitized work, the internet removed gatekeepers, and smartphones turned attention into currency. And now AI is multiplying cognition, which is a polite way of saying the robot just walked into the office and asked where you keep the coffee. None of these shifts asked for permission. They didn't pause while people got comfortable. They just arrived and quietly rewrote the rules. Like the universe kicking open the door and moving the furniture around while everybody's still sitting in the room. And every time this happens, the same thing follows. Some people adapt and use the shift as leverage. Others cling to the world they already understand. Like a guy insisting on his flip phone is actually better. The first group rides the current. The second group gets dragged behind the boat, face skipping across the water, wondering what the hell just happened. This isn't about history, it's about you. It's already happening. This exact same pattern happens inside a person's life. You built a life, now it doesn't feel like yours. The same disruption, just internal instead of technological. At some point, you reach a crossroads where something changes internally. The work that used to energize you doesn't land the same way anymore. The title still works, the career still works, and everything looks good on the outside. But inside, it feels like you're wearing somebody else's jacket. Like you're playing a role you used to own, but now it just feels off. You're still performing, you're just disconnected. On paper, I'm good, but I just don't feel like myself anymore. But something inside you knows the fit isn't the same. You didn't ask for that shift, and you can't control when it shows up. Nobody schedules an identity earthquake for Tuesday afternoon. And pretending it isn't there doesn't make it disappear. Yeah, I've tested this. It just makes you better in ignoring it while it quietly gets worse. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound and calling it a strategy. It's the same force that reshapes industries. Reality changes. And the people who thrive are the ones who are willing to adapt to the new landscape. The ones who struggle are usually the people clinging to that same identity that got them there, and it's what's keeping them stuck. I keep telling myself I should just be grateful. Nothing's absolutely wrong. The same playbook in a game that already changed the rules. The same way companies did when the internet arrived. The same way businesses did when technology changed the game. Blockbuster Video thought the old system would keep working. Late fees, physical stores, rows of plastic cases on shelves. A whole business model built around people forgetting to rewind a goddamn movie. They weren't stupid, they were successful. And that's exactly why they didn't see it coming. They just believed the world that made them powerful would keep existing, which is exactly what successful men tend to assume. Then the environment changed. And suddenly, what made them successful became the thing that killed them. And the strength turned into a liability. This happens to people too. They cling to the role, the identity, the reputation they built 20 years ago. Like a guy still wearing his high school varsity jacket at 45, even when something inside them knows the landscape has shifted. History is full of companies that became blockbuster. And life is full of people who do the same thing. Still producing, but slowly becoming irrelevant in their own life. Your decision speed slowed, you hesitate where you used to move, and you start shrinking because adaptation is uncomfortable. Nobody enjoys recalibrating their identity while still carrying everything they built. But refusing to adapt is expensive. And toleration always charges interest. But refusing to adapt is expensive. Toleration always charges interest. You can defer the decision, but deferment always comes with a cost. You just don't see the bill right away. It compounds over time. It shows up as heavier days, lower energy, and a life where everything feels harder than it should. I'm still producing, but why does everything feel harder? Most guys don't need more advice or another productivity hack. They need a cleaner way to think so they can actually make a decision and get unstuck. That's why I built the No BS Thinking Toolkit. It's not a bunch of bullshit exercises or homework or journaling prompts or any of that shit. It strips away the noise so you can see clearly and move. The link is in the description. The people who navigate change the best are the ones who stay in the driver's seat of their own direction. They pay attention to what's changing, and they evolve their identity when the old version stops fitting. They update the operating system instead of pretending the software still works. They treat change the same way successful people treat technology. Not as something to resist, but something to learn and use. Because fighting the shift is like yelling at the tide. It's still coming in. Because the truth is, shifts are inevitable. Industries change, technologies change. And I fought that shit longer than I should have. I was an award-winning chef for over 25 years. It wasn't a job. My career was my identity. You can even say I was married to that identity. And I thought being a chef would be my life plan. So when my passion for my career started dying, Not only did I fight it, I was defiant, even pissed off. Like something I built my entire life around was getting ripped out from under me. So I pulled a blockbuster. I saw things were changing, and I clung to an idea that it did no longer work. That shit cost me 5 years of personal professional growth and $250,000. And I turned into a version of myself I barely recognized. And during that period, I shrank. Lower energy, lower standards, lower expectations, and called it being realistic. I mean, I was accepting standards my younger self would have laughed at. Your standards don't collapse, they quietly lower. Former client, late 40s VP of a marketing firm, told me, I feel like I've got momentum again, like I'm finally moving instead of just maintaining. We didn't blow up his life. He just stopped clinging to the version of himself that was already expired. And that one tends to show up when your life looks the most successful. You can't stop the change, but you can decide whether you adapt to the new world or become the blockbuster video in your own life, standing there wondering where all the customers went when the next version of your life moves on without you. The longer you tolerate, the more it costs. So which one are you? Adapting or slowly becoming irrelevant in your own life? I'm Kurt. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week. Cheers.